Have you ever noticed what seems to be a discrepancy in the Gospel account at Matthew 27:9-10? In those verses, Matthew refers to a prophecy that was fulfilled when the religious leaders used the money paid to Judas Iscariot for betraying Jesus. Matthew writes, "Then what was spoken through Jeremiah the prophet was fulfilled." And he goes on to mention the 30 pieces of silver being used to buy the potter's field. At first glance, this may seem confusing because the prophecy about the 30 silver pieces is actually found in the book of Zechariah, not in the book of Jeremiah. Some have wondered whether Matthew made a mistake. However, there is a reasonable explanation that helps us understand why Jeremiah was mentioned. In the arrangement of the Hebrew scriptures used by the Jews of that time, the collection of books known as the prophets may have been identified by the name of its first and most prominent book. In some cases, Jeremiah was placed at the beginning of that section. Therefore, when Matthew referred to Jeremiah, he was not necessarily pointing to the individual book of Jeremiah alone. Instead, he could have been referring to the entire collection of prophetic writings, a collection that also included the book of Zechariah, where the specific prophecy is found. A similar practice can be seen in Jesus' own words. On one occasion, he spoke about the things written concerning him in the law of Moses and in the prophets and Psalms. By mentioning Psalms, Jesus was referring not only to the book of Psalms itself, but to a larger section of the Hebrew scriptures known as the writings. So, just as Psalms could represent an entire group of books, Jeremiah could be used to represent the broader collection of prophetic books. Understanding this ancient method of referring to sections of Scripture helps resolve the apparent difficulty and shows that Matthew's statement was fully consistent with the way the Scriptures were commonly referenced in his day.